the city of Madripoor, a person stands in the middle of the street as people walk around. The man puts his hands out and an earthquake begins to happen that makes cracks open that allow plants to grow and begin to cut through people. The man takes his hoodie off and smirks as he screams, "The earth calls back for its control." On the SHIELD helicarrier, Director Phil Coulson monitors the situation as Agent Black Cat arrives and explains that in the last 6 hours, Madripoor has become an entire forest. Coulson asks if there's anyone they can get on top of this, and Felicia says no, as the Fantastic Four are off planet. The Avengers are still dealing with areas recovering from the King invasion, and the X-Men are still trying to gain control with new groups of mutants erupting across the world. Coulson looks at Felicia and tells her that it's time to enact his contingency. Felicia looks worried, but agrees as the two enter a Quinjet and fly over to the raft where they meet Eddie Brock and Laura Kinney with the Wolverine. Coulson thanks them for coming, and Eddie says that Tigra is watching Dylan, and Laura hasn't punched anything in a few weeks and is now feeling restless. Coulson explains to the three the situation in Madripoor and that it's the perfect time for a test run of a plan Director Fury once had. The group walk into the cafeteria in the raft, and Coulson shows the three their new teammates, two of whom volunteered to be on this mission. One door opens, and the two members who volunteered were Troll, who was once a part of the Masters of Evil, and Antonia Dreykov, a former member of the Red Room known as Taskmaster. Felicia asks why they chose to volunteer for this mission, and Troll answers by trying to find a purpose after the wrongdoing she did to the Avengers. And Antonia, who prefers to go by Tony, says that there is someone who lives in Madripoor that she wants to check up on. Laura respects the honesty from both. She then asks who else is on the team. Coulson then brings the other members who are in handcuffs. Ramona Jones, who calls herself the true Hawkeye, the mind controller Persuasion, the assassin Ikari, and the Tiger Shark, who has a nozzle. Venom laughs as he sees Tiger Shark, who just growls at him. Coulson explains that all the inmates, including Troll and Taskmaster, will have trackers in their heads that will allow them to keep an eye on them. However, the trackers also limit Persuasion's abilities, and they will also shock Tiger Shark if he attempts to escape into the water. Coulson explains to the group that what their mission is, and it's simply to go to Madripoor and locate the origin of the forest. A few hours pass, and the team are in the Quinjet 5 miles away from Madripoor. Black Cat looks to the team and says that they will need to be careful because the intel they have been given shows the plant life seems to be alive, so everything will be there to kill them. Just then, the Quinjet begins to shake as Laura senses that they are right over Madripoor and they are being attacked by plant spikes. The jet begins to break apart, and Laura opens the Quinjet door, and the whole team jumps out as the Quinjet is destroyed. The group lands onto the ground, and they see the plant life is continuously growing. Laura sniffs the air and begins to get a trace of the origin. The group moves towards the origin point as Tony looks around to see abandoned homes. Persuasion asks her what she's looking for, and Tony ignores her. Persuasion tries to get into Tony's mind, but Tony says that she's been through mind control and that she's not a fan of someone who's trying to get her head, so she headbutts her. Ikari rolls his eyes as he simply calls them amateurs. Jones hears a noise, and suddenly an explosion occurs that reveals the man who started this plant invasion and introduces himself as Brother Nature. Brother Nature welcomes the team to his new utopia and asks why they are here. Venom responds to this by saying that he is killing innocent people and launches himself at Brother Nature, but he shoots a plasma beam at Venom, knocking him back. Brother Nature says that he is trying to bring the earth back to its roots. Ikari laughs, hearing this, as he cuts through the plant life and attempts to make his way to Brother Nature, but he gets grabbed by the plant life. Brother Nature looks to Ikari and says that his cockiness is a perfect representation of what humanity is doing to Earth. He waves his hand that sends air into Ikari's face. Ikari begins to cough, attempting to breathe, but his head begins to melt away, killing him. The team look horrified as they fight off the plant life that is attacking them. Brother Nature tells them that what they are doing is folly, as he will spread the plants across the world. He flies away as the team gets surrounded by plants. One stabs Persuasion in the arm that begins to poison her. Troll and Wolverine cut down enough to clear a path that allows them to escape into a building. The group almost all get inside, but Taskmaster gets pinned down and is about to be killed until a small portion of the plants get killed by a blur. Taskmaster is confused until she sees her friend Sandra Santos, or Hightail as she calls herself. The two friends hug as they meet each other with the others. Hightail explains she's been trying to keep the plants from leaving Madripoor, but Brother Nature simply regrows them. Black Cat attempts to call Coulson but is unable to as the plant life is blocking out any form of signal. Laura looks to Persuasion as she sees her arm is growing. She smells her arm and realizes that Persuasion has been poisoned. Tiger Sharp attempts to leave, but Venom grabs him and the two begins to fight one another, ending with Venom being victorious. He knocks out Tiger Shark and drags him back to the group. Black Cat thinks for a moment, saying to herself, what would Peter do? She then thinks of a plan. She tells Persuasion to use her powers to wake up Tiger Shark. She does so, in pain at least, and once he wakes up, he attempts to tackle Venom, but he fails. Black Cat tells them that she has a plan, but Jones refuses to listen, as says she will handle this herself to prove she is the quote-unquote real Hawkeye. Black Cat rolls her eyes but lets her go as she explains the plan to the others. Brother Nature stands on his throne as he waves his hand and the plant life begins to spread outside of Madripoor. He smiles until he feels a rumble to the floor. He looks to see Venom and Tiger Shark climbing up his tower. They push through the plants and make their way to the throne. Brother Nature looks with anger as he sends plant tendrils to the two, but they are cut by Wolverine and Taskmaster, who are holding onto Hightail as she runs in super speed. The group hold off the plant life, as in another part of the city, Black Cat and Troll move around to see the origin point of the plants. Felicia asks Troll if she thinks her mother is looking over her, and Troll simply says she believes her mother is in Valhalla and is well. The two find the origin, and Troll breaks the ground to see a gold plant that continues to sprout out vines. Brother Nature sends Venom and Tiger Shark back to the ground as Hightail and Wolverine run back to them. Brother Nature looks at his opponents and tells them that they are the poison that hurts this precious planet. He then gets hit in the back by an arrow. He turns around to see Ramona Jones pointing another arrow at him. She says that she will kill him for everything he's done. He simply waves his hand and she gets stabbed in the stomach by 4 vines that kill her instantly. He turns back to the group and is about to wave his hand but gets hit by a mind blast, and he sees that Persuasion, who can barely stand, is holding him off. She then tries to control him, but her nose begins to bleed as the poison takes over and she is killed. Brother Nature makes fun of the group, telling them that they're insane for attempting to stop the natural order. He grabs Taskmaster by the throat and is about to kill her until he feels a pain in his core. He looks to the origin point of the vines to feel Troll using her axe to destroy the golden plant. He screams with anger as he makes his way to the golden plant. He is about to grab the plant until Troll destroys it, which weakens Brother Nature. He looks around him to feel his powers slowly fade away and tries to kill Black Cat, but gets stabbed in the back by Taskmaster and Wolverine. His body falls to the ground, which leads to the plant life around them beginning to fade away from existence. A few days pass, and Coulson thanks Eddie and Laura for the help as they leave the carrier. Coulson thanks Felicia for leading the team and asks her if she wants to become the permanent leader, and she says she isn't a leader. She works better off alone. However, she suggests someone else to lead. Tony, Sandra, and Troll walk into Coulson's office. Coulson thanks them for what they did and offers them an opportunity to help the world. He gives them a file that has more prisoners on the raft and tells them that this team was to give people a chance to make things better for themselves. Tony, Sandra, and Troll all agree as they look at the file under the name Project Thunderbolts.